And we're back at 8:10 with a Today exclusive. U.S. figure skaters earned the silver medal in the team competition back in 2022 at the Beijing Olympics. So more than a year later, those athletes are still waiting to receive their medal while the Russian doping scandal remains under investigation. We're going to speak with three members of the U.S. Team in just a moment. But first, their story.
Second place to the United States of America.
It's been more than 500 days since the U.S. won silver in team figure skating at the Beijing Olympics, the U.S.'s best finish ever in the event.
How is this sinking in that this actually happened and you were a part of it?
It's amazing. It's so surreal.
But in a shocking twist, the final medal ceremony was postponed after it was revealed that star Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug 2 months before the Games. Valieva, who was only 15 at the time, led the Russian Olympic Committee to win gold in the team competition. Due to the investigation, the IOC eventually canceled the event's medal ceremony in Beijing, a first in Olympic history and a crushing blow to the 9 members of the U.S. figure skating team. To this day, the athletes, including Vincent Joe, Alexa Knierim, and Brandon Frazier, have yet to receive their hard-earned medals.
These athletes sacrifice so much of their lives for this one moment, and watching these athletes not get that moment is upsetting.
In January, a committee within the Russian anti-doping agency cleared Valieva of any wrongdoing. A month later, the World Anti-Doping Agency appealed that decision, saying in a statement that it would seek a 4-year period of ineligibility for Valieva and disqualification of all of the athlete's results since her doping test in 2021. The case now rests with the Court of Arbitration for Sport. If Russia is disqualified, Team USA could end up taking home the gold. But the athletes say it's about much more than the medals.
This goes beyond just Team USA. This is about integrity and clean sport as a whole.
The International Skating Union and the Russian Anti-Doping Agency have each filed their own appeals in the case. A court hearing with all the parties will take place in September, but it's still unclear if there will be a decision made at that time. Now, meantime, the World Anti-Doping Agency says it will, quote, continue to push for this matter to proceed without further undue delay. Let's bring in the 3 medal winners that we have here. We've got Alexa, Brandon, and Vincent. Okay, now let's take us back to the Olympics, because I didn't know this part. So the medal ceremony is about to begin. You guys are dressed in your medal uniforms. You're supposed to wear a certain uniform to go get your medals. You're about to walk up to the podium. And then what happens, Alexa?
Somebody said that the ceremony is not happening. And I thought it was a joke. Yeah. Because that's just absurd. And we were dressed, ready to go. It was like Christmas morning, going to get our hardware.
Yeah.
And no, they're like, no, this is not happening. And then we're like, what? And then they sent us back to our rooms in the village.
Okay, so they sent you guys back to your rooms. So at that point, you assumed you were getting the silver medal. Then all this business comes out about doping. So then it's like, are you going to get the silver, or are you actually gold medalists? How did that sit with you?
Thinking back to it, it was just such a mix of emotions, because I was so excited for us all to be able to get our medals, and then the thought of being upgraded too. It just felt like kind of like a dream, and not sure what to expect. All I knew was I was excited for our teammates to get the medal we deserved.
We should put a fine point on this, because the medal ceremony matters. We've all been in the audience watching as you guys step up to the podium. There's a moment of recognition. It's like all the hard work comes down to this particular moment. What did it mean to you, Vincent, to not have had that special moment?
It felt like a stain on the history of figure skating in the Olympics, and it reflects poorly on the integrity of sport in the Olympics in general.
Well, it must be frustrating, because I'm sitting here thinking, what's going on? Why does it take 500 days to determine who won the gold medal? What are you being told, Vincent, about all this?
We aren't being told much. There's been a shocking lack of transparency and communication, not just to the public, but to the athletes themselves. and other athletes who are still also potentially waiting on medals from Japan and Canada are also in the same situation.
This young woman from Russia, I mean, it was determined initially that there had been some doping allegations. When you heard about that, Alexa, what did you think?
I mean, I was shocked because it is our duty as athletes, as Olympic athletes, to compete fair and clean, and that's what my team did, and we deserve the recognition of competing clean and fairly. So it's just disappointing that we worked our whole lives for that one moment, and we're being punished for doing it the right way.
Yeah, I think it's sort of weird that we're saying now, even when they meet to decide what to do, we still may not have a final resolution. So it still seems murky, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It still stings a lot to know that, like, we deserved our moment on the podium, and we all worked so hard to put out the great performances we all did in Beijing, and we are still left with an empty medal box.
Yeah, and I want to point out, you guys, it's not like you guys are complaining about this. In fact, when you sat down, you said, look, there are a lot of bigger things going on in the world, you know, except for when we did or did not get our medal. However, this determines if all of your hard work was worth a silver or a gold medal. So here we sit today. You've retired from the Olympics. So I'm just curious, what are you guys doing with your lives? What are you doing, Alexa?
Well, I'm trying to make sure that any athlete that competes after me is able to compete in a fair and honorable way. And that's why we're here today, just to make sure that the future of sport is continued to be fair and clean.
Well, you guys, as you know, are medalists in our eyes, and we know you've already got the silver, and there's a good chance that you might actually be gold medalists. What will it mean to you? I know you won't have the ceremony, but what would it mean to you if, in fact, you do receive your medal when that happens?
To be able to call ourselves Olympic champions is something I never thought I would be able to do or earn, and the thought of it is amazing, but I just know we all will feel incredible once we get the medals.
Do you think it'll still feel okay to you, Vincent, even if it just comes to you, I guess, in the mail? I don't know how they would do it. I'm not sure what it would amount to, but would it still feel okay?
I think that winning a gold medal would be incredible, an incredible outcome for all of us. But I want to focus my effort on making sure this doesn't happen again in the future. As Alexa mentioned just now, we want to make sure this doesn't have to be something that future generations of fair and clean athletes have to worry about.
Okay, how about if we make a deal? When you get your medal, since you didn't get your ceremony, how about if we do a ceremony here? Would you love that on the plaza?
Yes.
And by the way, you get millions of people watching. You may actually be even more than you would have been.
They'll be
awake. You're right. All right, so it's a promise. We'll shake on that. We will see you with your medals. As soon as you get them, we'll be out on the plaza, okay? Beautiful. You guys, thank you. Good luck. We're happy that you came to see us.
Thank you so much.